Hello, this is iCastNews.com, live and direct from the United Nations. I'm Linda FASULO, and welcome to World Opinion Cafe Forum. Joining us today is Afghanistan's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Zahir TANIN. Welcome back, Ambassador.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again here.
Well, you know, last evening, President Barack Obama laid out a new strategy, a war strategy for Afghanistan that will result in the sending of 30,000 more American troops. What is President Karzai's reaction to this new plan?
President Karzai's reaction and the reaction of the Afghan government is that we welcome this new strategy. We welcome the dedication and focus of President Obama to such an important issue that is about the destiny and future of Afghanistan, and also it's about the U.S. interests and life of thousands of people. So we think that this strategy is going to help Afghanistan to eventually become stabilized and stand on its feet.
I know that there's been some concern in Congress and elsewhere about setting a time frame, you know, talking about having these American troops withdraw beginning in a year and a half. What's the reaction to that? Is there a concern that perhaps that's too short a lead time?
We are not going to see this strategy as an exit strategy. There's a time frame for the beginning of the reduction of the forces, as it was put by the President 18 months from now, or the beginning of the return of forces in July 2011. I think this is something that the government of the United States and the government of Afghanistan will see together as the important condition for the beginning of any withdrawal is how the situation is on the ground. Today in Senate debate on Afghanistan, Secretary Gates also talked about a review on time. But I think we are fully aware of the assessment of the leadership of the United States. We are fully prepared to take responsibilities, and it starts now. The responsibilities of security of the country. It's a gradual process. It takes a little bit time. President Karzai committed himself in his inauguration speech that the responsibility of defense and security of country, defense of country, will start now, and it takes maybe up to 5 years when the Afghan forces are able to fully be in charge of security.
Can you just share with us a little bit, how would you describe the state of the insurgency in Afghanistan? I mean, how strong is the Taliban today?
There is a momentum for the Taliban. And also, they're trying to win the psychological war in the last couple of months. They not only try to expand their activities in some parts of the country or increase the number of attacks, but they also try to exhibit their momentum and show that they are advancing. So the reality is that there is a situation that both the United States, the NATO forces, and the Afghan government need to change that. The Taliban, whether you consider it as a big threat or bigger threat, they are able to put in danger the life of thousands of people and activities of people in some parts of the country, especially in the south. and especially the terrorist activities in AFPAC region, and region between Afghanistan and Pakistan, hasn't stopped. It has been expanded. The situation should be changed. So I think it is safe to say that the Taliban is a threat that we have to stop it.
Of course, the Taliban is saying that by sending more these troops, these additional troops, the result will be more American fatalities and more hostility to what they're calling the American occupation. What do you make of that? I mean, what do you think the people's reaction is to this larger and larger American and NATO presence in your country?
What the Taliban is saying now, or has said before, is part of their psychological war. They would like to relate the increase of the casualties of the U.S. troops to the increase of force. It may not be the case. When I can understand the concerns about an increase in number that can be related to an increase in fatalities and casualties, I don't think it's necessarily the case. Taliban would like to use that as a threat. They would like to influence the mind of Americans. So the whole strategy is not about the numbers and what people call it escalation of the war. It's about changing the situation. It's about pushing back the Taliban. It is about changing the momentum. So, and then it is protection of people, which is very important for us. Also helping Afghans to start taking more responsibility of defense and security of their country. So I think it is not, as it was put before, about the number of soldiers, but it is also about how they are going to
changing the
function and work there.
How would you characterize the state of Al-Qaeda today? Because there seems to be mixed information about how strong Al-Qaeda is in Afghanistan versus Pakistan, and where do things really stand?
The threat of Al-Qaeda hasn't been ceded, hasn't been reduced. Even the Al-Qaeda tried recently to plan plots inside America through maybe Afghan or Pakistani nationals who were trained in Pakistan. I know, and we are aware that there are people they would like to convince us that it is an ideological movement, it is not an inspirational movement, and it is not a real threat, but it is an argument for those who try to prove that this war is wrong. As President Obama put it in his speech, in his new strategy, I think the threat of Al-Qaeda is real. They now are very active in this tribal area between Afghanistan and Pakistan, and the area, let's call it AFPAC area. And they expanded their activities, and not only in that area. They are now they have a presence in Yemen, in Somalia, and other parts of the world. At the same time, nobody should be under any illusion that the activities of the Taliban is not a separate activity from the Al-Qaeda's ideological and also logistic
you mean that's connected?
Support. So there is a connection.